everybody, it's Valerie from Easy Peasy Living, and if you've been following along with me, you know that August is Simplicity Month, and we've been talking particularly this week on keeping your food and your eating as simple as possible. So I've been thinking a lot about, in about 10 days, we're going to be starting school here in my area. Many of you may have already started. And I'm trying to think of breakfast ideas that my kids can make for themselves that won't take them very long in the mornings and that they will enjoy eating, but that isn't so carb heavy. Because, you know, I've been noticing that we are a nation of carb eaters, and we've been trying to watch that in my household. If you think about what typically is eaten for breakfast, especially on weekday mornings when everybody's in a rush to get out of the house, you've got, you know, pancakes, waffles, toast, bagels, cereal. It's all carbs. So even though we're not rushing to get out the door, I anticipate that, knowing my teens, they're still going to be rolling out of bed at the very last minute. So I'm going to share with you these delicious low carb, you can call them cupcakes or mug cakes, but you basically mix them up in a mug. So you have one individual serving and you just microwave it for 90 seconds and it's really delicious. And my kids feel like they're getting a treat, like dessert for breakfast, so they don't object to that, and they're very easy to make. The best part about it, though, is that you can actually make up the individual mixes in advance so that you have like a whole week's worth, and all you have to do is kind of do like a dump and nuke kind of thing. And, you know, add some, you know, a beverage, maybe some sausage or something like that. And these are actually higher in protein, which is what I was really going for. A little bit, I'll tell you a little bit of a secret. My daughter does not like eggs. She will not eat eggs, but each of these mug cakes contains an egg. And so she is eating an egg, but she doesn't realize that that's, even though she's putting it in there, she doesn't really realize that she is eating eggs for breakfast. So it's kind of a sneaky little way to get around that. And given the fact that she doesn't like eggs, she doesn't like cheese, it's kind of hard to find a breakfast that's higher in protein that works for her. So this one is perfect because she loves them. So I'm going to share with you how I make up the mixes and also how to make the actual cakes. And I think you're gonna find it really amazing, and I hope that you're gonna give this a try with your kids and see what they think, okay? Stay tuned. Okay, so first I'm gonna show you how to put together the mix. And this mix, there are a lot of different varieties, and I will share them all on my website so that you can have the recipes. But they follow the same basic formula. Some have like one or two extra ingredients in them. But this mix is for probably what is my kid's favorite, which is chocolate peanut butter mug cake. And what you're gonna need is some almond flour, and I recommend that you get the fine ground almond flour. It makes a little bit of a difference as far as texture goes, and I think the kids would appreciate that more. And you do, by the way, want to keep your almond flour in the refrigerator once you open it, because you know, it's made from almonds and they can go off, you know, fairly quickly. So you'll need almond flour, you'll need stevia, which is a low carb, natural sugar substitute. So it is not synthetic, it's not artificial, but it is going to be lower in carbon a little. It's been shown to be a little bit better for you. And a big bag of the granulated stevia will last you a long, long time. Okay, and then just regular old baking powder. Now, one little tip that I want to share with you, if you follow me, you probably know that I'm not big on adding a lot of plastic to the landfill. So once upon a time, my kids used to eat those little applesauce things, and they don't anymore, but I had saved the little cups that they come in. I find them really useful for a lot of things. and this is one of them. So what I do is I use these cups to put the mixes into, and it's easy to get it in there. It's easier to get the ingredients in than it is to try to put them in a plastic bag, and that way you're not like throwing out plastic bags. You can reuse these, and I'll show you how. But first, let me show you how to make the mixes. So I'm just I'll just do 2 mixes for the purposes of this. So all you need for this particular one is you need 2 tablespoons in each one of the almond flour. And then you need 1 tablespoon in each of the stevia. You want to make sure you get it out. This tends to be kind of, I don't know, it likes to cling to the spoon there. And then you need a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. So a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder in each one. And you want to make sure that's level. Okay? And that is it as far as your mixes go. Okay, and as you can see, I have a few more here that I did, or that my daughter did actually earlier. So what we usually do is we take just a rectangular container like this, and I can usually get like up to 8 of these mixes in here. This is 5. Actually, you could probably do 10. If you wanted to do another layer, just put some wax paper over that, which you can just reuse. You can just keep reusing it. And then you could like sift more cups. You know, you can kind of nest them in, but that's just to keep it from sticking and going everywhere. Might not be completely necessary, but it makes me feel a little bit better that it's not going to go everywhere. And then just stick your lid on it and put this on a shelf in the pantry. Obviously you want to keep it level, but that way you can just grab one of your mixes and wash out the little cups and reuse them each week. Okay? Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to actually put this together and make the mug cake. So in here, in the mug, and you want a fairly large size mug, and in the mug I have 1 tablespoon of butter and 1 tablespoon of peanut butter. And I'm going to add to that just a teaspoon of chocolate chips, okay? And you can add more. However, the more you add, the more sugar you're adding into this whole thing. And you really don't want to have, give your kids too much sugar in the morning. So I leave that up to you. If you want to put a little bit more in, you can, but essentially this is just to give it the flavor. Okay, and then what I always do is I use a coffee filter, and I make a little lid on my mug, and then you're gonna put this in the microwave for just 30 seconds to melt everything. Okay, so when you take it out of the microwave, it's gonna look like this. And you wanna actually, I usually just use a knife, and you can use a fork or whatever works. You just wanna kind of like mix that up to make sure that you've got your butter and your peanut butter and your chocolate chips all sort of melted in there. And it doesn't have to be perfect. These chocolate chips aren't completely melted, but you get the idea. Then you're going to add your dry mix that you made up earlier. Just dump that in there. Stir it up again till it's well combined. And then you're gonna add an egg. And this is the part that your kids might need a little bit of help with. But learning how to crack an egg successfully is a really important life skill that they're gonna need if they're gonna do any kind of cooking at all. So I would encourage you to teach them how to do it so that they can do this whole part by themselves. Okay, so you wanna get it nice and combined. You don't want little pockets of egg in there, okay? And then this part is optional. I usually like to add just a drop of vanilla extract, maybe 2, just to give it a little extra flavor, but it's not entirely necessary. So when you're done, it's gonna be all nice and well incorporated like that. You're gonna put your lid back on it, and you're gonna stick it back in the microwave on high for another 90 seconds. And when it comes out, this is what it looks like. You can sort of see it's yummy. And if you ever wanted to do this as a dessert, or if you want to be a little extra special, you can put a little bit of whipped cream on it, and oh my goodness, is that good. So I hope that you will give this a try. Okay, so it really is just that easy peasy, and I hope you guys will give this a try. I think your kids will really like it, mine do. And go to my website at www.easypeasyliving.com, and I'll have the recipes there for this one and for several others that are their favorites. Okay, so have a great day, and as always, keep it easy peasy.